Good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday, August the 9th. This is going to be a brief video updating the DeMark indicators on the SPY. We're going to take a look at the dollar index and also at the oil continuous contract. First on the SPY, which you can see on the screen right now. On Monday at bar 4, price qualified the TD propulsion momentum indicator and set a target at 349.31, which is this thick blue line right here. I got a couple of questions as to when that might be hit. Unfortunately, this indicator does not give a time projection, only a price projection. So what we are looking at right now is that the SPY is actually running into some upside exhaustion. On Friday, it printed a countdown sell 13, and tomorrow, unless there is a severe pullback, it is very likely that it will print yet another TD sell setup. So from here, we should expect 2 to 4 bars of weakness before a resumption of the upward move. It is possible that given the sell countdown, we may get some additional weakness, but the overall pattern remains positive. That's especially true if we look at the SPY on a weekly basis. And here you see that we're just on bar 5 of a new sell setup. So there is plenty of room to go to the upside as long as this count does not cancel. Now moving to the dollar index. One second. I am not a currency trader in any way, shape, or form. However, the setup of the dollar index is interesting. On the daily chart, on the daily time frame, you can see that there is a countdown sell 13 that completed just a couple of days ago, and now there has already been a bullish price flip. The important part, in my opinion, is that if you look at the index on a monthly chart, it is getting very, very close to the TD downline. This is generally viewed as the trend line. In other words, should price break through this, one could make the argument that the monthly trend for the dollar has changed. So for those who factor the dollar strength or weakness in their trading, we are approaching a very important level at 91.79, which also happens to be the low. Going back, I'm switching back to the daily chart right now. The low that was printed pretty much when, no, I take that back. It's a little higher, but the 91.95 is the secondary exhaustion for the countdown by 13 that you see over here. So a pretty important level for the dollar index if you use that in your trading. And lastly, we'll switch over to the oil continuous contract. And the Bloomberg is acting up. Let me try this again. Sorry about this. I just entered the wrong ticker. Here we go. Make the chart over the last 3 months. It's very slow for whatever reason. Here we go. So the charts obviously have been skewed somewhat by that wild negative pricing that occurred several weeks ago when there was an issue with storage capacity and so on. Price has recovered nicely. You can see that it printed a TD sell setup right over here. There was, as predictable, a certain level of weakness immediately after that, but then the countdown sell continued, and there was the first completion over here, 13, which related actually to this sell setup, and then another sell countdown completed over here related to this sell setup. There's now been a price flip, so some weakness is to be expected. And I use this mostly on the weekly time frame, to which we will switch now if it ever happens. It is really slow for whatever reason. Here we go. And here you can see that after some consolidation, there is a new TD sell setup ongoing on bar 1 and 2. The short of it is that I use this on a weekly time frame to try to time my equity exposure. Right now I'm limiting my stock picks at Pioneer, Apache, and I am again looking at FANG as a potential play. My sense is that we're probably going to be going sideways for a while in oil, but certainly the bearish counts and levels that we had seen for several months until we had this blow off bar over here seems to be repairing, and it is not unreasonable to think that there may be more upside ahead for the price of oil. Thank you, and sorry for the delays on the charts, and I will talk to you soon.